Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to complete the square. So our first example is going to be x squared plus 16x minus 22 equals 0. Alright, so you might be, it's a basic instinct to wanting to factor. So, but the problem is with this equation, we cannot factor this. There's no number that multiplies to 22 that gives you 16. Okay, so this can't be factorable. So the best way to solve this is completing the square. Okay, so the first thing to do, before I move on to anything, I want to point out the a, b's, and c's in this equation. The a is the coefficient of this x squared, which is a 1, right? What is the b? Well, the b is this one, so it's a 16. And the c is a negative 22. Okay, the constant. And we don't want this constant right now. We want to move this constant on this side, okay? If we move it, so I'm just going to copy this. I'm leaving a space here purposely because we will need to fill in a number. We're going to complete this equation with a different number in order for us to factor it. So if we move this 22, we get a positive 22. And now to find this number right here, there is a little formula. It's plus or minus, because we don't know what integer it will be. B divided by 2 squared. That's this number. Well, what does that mean? Well, what is our b in this case? Our b is 16, right? So if we plug in a 16, we get 16 divided by 2 squared. 16 divided by 2, that's 8. 8 squared is 64. So it's great. We got our b, and we got our this value, and c, you can say, plus 64. And since you are adding 64 on this side, you have to add 64 on the other side. Okay? So let me just copy this. Alright. Well, what's 22 plus 64? That's 86. Oops. Alright? Okay, great. Now, if you look on this side for a second, you might be thinking, oh wait, I can factor this, right? 64 is 8 times 8. 8 plus 8 gives you 16, so great. So it's really x plus 8 and x plus 8. And you can rewrite this as x plus 8 squared, right? They're the same. 86. Now this is where it depends on what you are asked to find. If you're asked to find the vertex or put it in vertex form, what you would have to do is just move this 86 back, and this, and this would be in vertex form. Okay? This is your vertex form. And then if they're asked the vertex, you'll say, well, the vertex is negative 8, negative 86. Okay? So, but what if you're asked to actually complete the square, finish this off? Well, what you have to do is really solve for x. You have to find your two x-intercepts. How to do that? Well, let's see what we can do here. We want to get rid of this, squaring thing, business going on. How to do that? We take the square root, okay? The root of both sides. Now remember, when you're taking the root of something here, you have to mention that it can be either a positive or a negative number. So we get positive negative root 86, and here we get x plus 8, because we got rid of our, this cancels that. Okay? So we want to isolate x. So what we do is plus or minus root 86 minus 8. This is our answer. But if you want to be specific, if you actually want an x-intercept and an x, we can solve it. Our first x-intercept is going to be, well, I wrote it down, I think. I believe the square root of 86, the approximate value, I rounded it off, is 9.27, something like that, and it goes on. So we have positive 9.27 minus 8, and we have negative 9.27 minus 8. So our first x is going to be, well, 9 minus 8, that's 1.27, right? And our second intercept will be negative 17.27. Alright, so we found our x-intercepts. Great, that's our first example. I hope you understood what I did. Next example. I'm not sure. Okay, this one we're going to go a little bit quicker. It's 12x, because I want to do another one that's a bit different. Yeah. Okay, before I say anything, you might be thinking, well, wait a minute, this is factorable. And it is. 10 times 2 is 20. 10 plus 2 is 12, right? So the factors to this would be, I'm going to factor it, and I'm also going to do it through completing the square. Just so I can prove it, you get the same answer. So x plus 10, x plus 2 gives you this answer, which means your x will be negative 10, your x will be negative 2. Okay? Let's see if we get the same answers. Let's complete the square quickly. Well, we're going to move our 20 on this side, right? So we're going to have x squared plus 12x, a space, we're going to fill that in, minus 20. Put that over there. Well, what's this value? Remember, b divided by 2 squared. What's our b? 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 squared is 36, right? So we get plus 36. Since you're adding 36 on this side, you have to add 36 on this side. Alright? So you get x squared plus 12x plus 36 minus 20 plus 36, that equals 16. Okay. Now let's look at this side. Well, we can factor this. This is going to be 6 and 6 is 36. 6 plus 6 is 12. So x plus 6, x plus 6. Otherwise, x plus 6 squared equaling 16. Like I said, it's up to the question you're asked. From this point, you can find the vertex and put it in vertex form by moving the 16 on this side. Or, if you want to continue and find your x-intercepts, then you would just isolate x. So you would take the square root of each side. Square root, it's going to be plus or minus square root of 16 is 4. Okay? And so x will be positive or negative 4 minus 6. So this means that one of our x's is going to be plus, so positive 4 minus 6 is negative 2. And negative 4 minus 6 is negative 10. And look at that. These, oh my god, that's terrible, are the same answers as these. Negative 10, negative 2, negative 10, negative 2. Which means this is all correct. Isn't that wonderful? Alright, and my last, very, very last example, quick, is this. Plus 60b minus 65. Okay, so how would you complete the square for this one? Well, we were going to follow the same steps. Move this 65 on this side. So we get 4v squared. Oh, I'm using v for just, change of notation. But it's the same thing as x or whatever variable you want. 16v. And we're going to leave the space. It'll be 65. Okay? Alright. But the thing is, before I move on, I can even leave it. You know what? Because when you have a coefficient here, you really want to get rid of it. You want to factor it out. So I'm just going to write 65 like this for now. So what I'm going to do, I want this to be the coefficient of 1. So I'm going to divide by 4 everything. Okay, so divide by this number if possible. Usually it is possible. So, well, if we do that, we get 64 equals 65 divided by 4. And I got that to be 16.25. Okay? And now you could continue. Pretend there's a space here. So how do we get this value right here that I have no space for? Well, we do b divided by 2 squared. Remember, this is our b now. Right? Our a is 1, our b is 4, and our c is actually negative 16.25, right? We just moved it on this side. Okay? So we get, what's b? 4. 4 divided by 2 squared. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. So this value will be 4. So we get v squared plus 4, and there should be a v here. 4v plus 4, 16.25. And since we are adding 4 on this side, we have to add 4 on this side. Okay? So this is going to be 20.25. Adding. And this we could actually factor, right? 4, 2, 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. So great. So it's going to be x plus 2 squared. And if we just finish this off, we square root both sides, right? And we get x plus 2 plus or minus, and this is 4, if you take the root of 20.25, that's 4.5. Okay? And then all you have to do is move the 2 over. Minus 2, and that's the answer. Find both your x. The first one will be 4.5 minus 2, or 2.5. And the second one will be negative 4.5 minus 2, or negative 6.5. And then, why do I do that? There's our answers. So hopefully I didn't confuse you, although it looks like I did. Just remember to label your A, B's, and C's. Try to eliminate all your coefficients in the front. To factor it out. And this value that you're looking for is b divided by 2 squared.